top lane where actually strategies revolve around it.
All right, well, we are into the picks and bans. Gonna get that on your screen just in a second. And right off the bat, we see that Blitzcrank being banned out right away with a follow-up. Fnatic taking out Elise.
Blitzcrank ban against Unrated. You kind of had to see it come in. When we saw him play in IPL 5, controlling games, just landing hook after hook. I think there was at least 1 or 2 games where he never missed a hook. And every time he did, someone died, a play was made, an objective was taken. It was incredible just how accurate this guy was with the Blitzcrank. And became fearsome. And in the Korean teams they had, we've seen it and we've said it throughout the tournament, they have all these standard bans, the Shens, the Revlins, the Kazakhs that they like to take out, the Rolafs. But they had to change that out. So one game against Unrated, some of them didn't even play it, just watching his other games saying, Blitzcrank's now on the ban sheet, cannot let that guy have it. And Zyra is the other one. He was the first guy to bring support Zyra. This guy brought it to the scene, showed everyone how it's done. It's been slightly changed, it's been slightly adapted by other players since then, but that's his champion. And 2 bans targeted to support leaves so many options open for Fnatic.
Well, we saw Zyra played last game with the Zuber Frost. It was actually SK running him. Did very well. We see 2 bans target at the support. I mean, is that something you usually want to target in a ban phase?
Right now, maybe yes. Blitzcrank is always a strong ban. And Zyra is N-rated's like famous champion. So I definitely see those bans.
You just get a first pick Lee Sin coming out of 11. It's one of the first times we've seen him this tournament. He obviously had that period not so long ago last year where he was in everything. He's got a really, really powerful early game. Put him in the top lane, you can get kills in the first 3 levels if you're not playing it carefully enough against him. Or stick him in the jungle and just have him control the game, invading, ganking from behind turrets, landing skill shots from all over the map. And we've even seen him in support in a couple of cases.
Actually, I'm thinking about the spotlight on the preseason, or the patch coming up. Now, Freak was talking about, he excels at everything too well. They're going to have to tone him down a little bit. But yeah, picked up, we do see Nunu Caitlyn locked in. So, I mean, that's kind of a comp we've seen happen quite a bit lately.
Yeah.
And over at Absolute Legends, picking up
As we talked about
Olaf
before, Fnatic probably doesn't want to show too much. They are like, Nunu Caitlyn is one of those basic, strong push lanes. We've seen it sometimes in this tournament, and so is Olaf Sonar. Until now, nothing special coming out. Like, the only real thing going on now is that they could basically still decide if they want to set Olaf top lane or jungle, which many teams do. They get those picks first, which they can still decide later on where to put it.
With Absolute Legend taking that Olaf too, they are the blue side, they are on the bottom half of the map. We've seen it throughout the tournament, we've seen teams on the purple side take that Olaf, switch the lanes up, send him bottom, give him a blue buff. That's no longer an option now for Fnatic. They've got to go with something different, and they have locked themselves in a Lulu and a Zed. Now, Lulu AP mid was a thing for quite a while, but that was back when Deathfire Grasp was very, very strong. That's been changed, that's been nerfed. She's not quite so great in that position now. There is still a possibility Lulu could go in the jungle or the top lane. So we mentioned before how so many teams like to take these picks which you can just switch up and leave it to the last second to decide where it goes to try and confuse your opponents. These picks can still switch around, but they're even more unconventional than normal. But Absolute Legends, they're going to be very confused right now.
Actually, Zed pretty much arrived in Europe now. Like, people are starting to figure out that he's a really strong champion. And he works very well in mid and top lane. In jungle, we've seen it before in this tournament actually. Didn't work out too well for, I think it was Gambit, right?
Yes, it was Gambit that played Zed in the jungle. They played against Curse. It didn't go very well from the top. He just was very weak, didn't get the farm he needed, couldn't do the damage, and just died over and over.
I think it's a very good idea to combo him with Lulu, because Zed has very free engage, and he's very mobile champion, and if you have Lulu follow up, and he's somebody you can go in, I guess they'll add some other person like this, and they have a back zone kind of with Lulu ult and Caitlyn in the back dealing damage. So they have a very well structured team fight.
What do they need to pick up here last? I mean, they're not really that tanky at the moment.
They would probably add a real tank right now. Like, I might even see something like Jarvan, but I guess there's so many choices that it's tough to say.
Jarvan, and Malphite's still open too. He's a champion that we saw a lot of time. He's still a very prominent ban in solo queue as much throughout the Elo ranges. He was huge all the way back at IPL 5. Last time we saw Fnatic play against some of these Korean teams, but Frost and Blaze, they encountered him around there. Malphite there, but it's not. They've picked themselves Ezreal. They now have 2 AD carries. We did hear, it was off stage, it was the last game of the day, St. Vicious playing jungle Ezreal yesterday against Azubu Blaze for their final game. It wasn't so bad for him when we were here. The game went on for quite a while. He had about 11k gold by the end of it, looking at the final score sheet. It's viable option, and some people have tried it before. A couple of people have tried it in some online tournaments and things that have come there. Fnatic still got a couple of seconds to switch this backwards around, but they've got a very interesting comp.
They do, and like the most interesting thing at this point is how are they actually going to lane, because I don't know what Pika is planning on countering with the Caitlyn pick. I guess he's going to do the 1 versus 2 lane, or maybe even the 1v1 against Olaf.
All right, well, looking at both compositions, who has a stronger early game, who has a stronger late game?
Well, late game definitely goes to the team with the 2 ADs, because ADs are obviously the strongest picks late game. And pretty much from early to mid game, Absolute Legends could dominate, because Lee Sin and Olaf are very strong, and Orianna works very well with them.
Well, we actually are going to get into the loading screen, and we did see a last-minute switch. We did see Yellow Star actually take the Caitlyn, expect he's going to be running the Ezreal mid lane, which means we commonly played, as we would expect. But, you know, key players, key champions, what do we need to see here? Or what are we going to see here?
Well, with the strength that Olaf has at the moment, because we've seen how powerful he can get when you just start stacking that health. The thing with those health items are, they're quite expensive. The jungle, it's very hard to get that gold to start with at the moment. And when you've got yourself a Nunu, who is an incredible counter jungler on the opposing side, Cyanide, right, he can get in and out of that jungle with good ward coverage. He can take a lot of that gold away from Olaf.
All right, well, we're going to throw it over to Joe Miller and Demon, going to be casting this game for you.
So here we go, the next game of Group B here at the Intel Extreme Masters in Katowice. Absolute legends. I'm wondering if the crowd are going to be supporting their Polish team in this one, up against Fnatic. Really interesting lineups coming out of this one. Demon, what's your thoughts on it?
Well, there were some interesting little changes. Just noticed Olaf and Lee Sin switched last second as well, so it's going to be Lee Sin top lane, Olaf in that jungle, Becky in the middle on Ezreal. You know, this is kind of like a throwback to Season 1, I guess, and well, who was the best Season 1 team? It was Fnatic. We do see Cyanide doing a little dance for us. He's going to be drive-buying with Olaf as well. So it's going to be interesting to see how these gangs work out. And of course, Soaz on Zed. Soaz kind of basically brought Kha'Zix to light for everyone in the world. And now everybody hates him for it because Kha'Zix is a monster. But of course, he played it at IPL 5 before it was incredibly crazily OP in Season 3. But Season 3 stuff, you know, we're talking about that. Corki, a lot of people think he's underwhelmed right now. In fact, he's just got buffed in 1.74, the new patch coming out with this has just hit live servers today, or yesterday, I believe it was. Interested to see that he's been picked up here, though. I mean, I don't know how it's going to work out for them. Bot lane, of course, they are going to be the overwhelming favourite is Fnatic. That's a clear thing.
Yeah.
But overall, you don't really know what you're going to expect from AL. And I mean, Fnatic have been practicing like crazy. We just heard them talking about an expert desk. They are practicing, of course, for next week. That is the big thing for them. Nothing crazy coming from here, though. It's no invades going to come out. It's pretty standard stuff, and I expect them to all play safe to start with.
Yeah, I'm really wondering what to expect from Fnatic this time. As I said, Season 3 EU qualifiers next week. Fnatic aren't in there, and do they show everything here and try and win this tournament and take the money and the slot? Probably not, to be honest with you. They're probably going to be going, I'd say, half pace even, maybe. Certainly not showing anything new, but this is a team that is, and I feel like I've used this phrase far too much already this tournament, a well-oiled machine, as we've seen time and time again. Obviously, that second place at IPL, losing out to World Elite in the Grand Final, and picking up some big victories on the way. They're certainly one of the favourites, whatever they do, I think, in this tournament.
Yeah, it's going to be an interesting fight. We'll see whether Absolute Legends can put up a defence here as the home team against Fnatic. I do see Soaz already at this top lane against Lee Sin. Not too sure how this one's going to work out. You know, Zed is definitely coming to it. You remember back at Cologne just in December, of course, Insect was just demoralising people with Zed, I think is the best way to put it. He was absolutely wrecking face. We do see a potential, both junglers coming up to those at the top here though, Joe. I think they may try and sneak in. You do see the ward coming through from Cyanide, but of course he just showed himself, gave his position away. Trousy's not going to back away from this one though. And I think we might see the first attempted gank.
Yeah, it certainly looks like it. We'll see if they can get in on towards Soaz. Actually, will use his flash there. Better safe than sorry. In the meantime, we did see actually a bit of action in the bottom lane. Horse went very, very low. One more auto attack would have taken him down. And Tymek there, his support on Sona, also taking a lot of damage. And N-rated with this Lulu, he's going to be playing very aggressive, very up in the face as Tymek and Horse both going super low once again. Yellow Star does have that edge shot ready, so they need to be real careful as Horse again goes super low. Timing trying his best to get him healed up here, but this is just going to be Fnatic super aggressive on the tower. Absolute Legends have to back away from it, surely.
Yellow Star just going very aggressive, like you say, and again, this time Team X getting, oh my word, Piltover Peacemaker, max range, just missed it. I think that was a case of holding his own breath, let alone us himself. We do see Ezreal coming up around in the middle there. It's going to be interesting how this is going to play out late game and what Peke is going to build on that Ezreal. We can see he went for the Fairy Charm to start with, along with a stack of pots, but across the board, I don't know how this one's going to weigh out. Of course, they're going to have so much tower pushing potential. Meanwhile, at the top, they are going to come in back again for Soaz. You can see Trowsy coming around. Soaz does get ignited. He's going to get dived on. It may well be first blood for Absolute Legends here. It will be. And it's going to be picked up by Trowsy. And the home favourites, well, is that a sign of things to come, Joe?
Well, I think most people have already counted Absolute Legends out of this group before it even started, to be honest with you. I mean, who can blame them with the amazing caliber of teams that are in there with them? SK, Fnatic, Azubu, Frost. Not an easy group whatsoever for Absolute Legends, but they've got this incredible crowd behind them here in Katowice, and that's never to be underestimated. We've seen it time and time again what that could do to any player's confidence.
Look at the pressure though on this bottom turret. It's already down to 600 hit points on that bottom lane. N-rated Yellow Star. Yellow Star, of course, formerly with SK Gaming in Season 2. They did have a bit of a change of roster recently, a bit of falling out, but he seems to be settling in his new home. He was pretty much practicing straight away with them directly after Season 2, so the changes did come around. And we do see Candy Panda, of course, you just saw him in the last game, but we are once again getting Olaf coming round. He's just walked through a ward, so he's going to be spotted. The axe is going to come in. They were well prepared for that one, and Yellow Star not even worried. They're not backing away from this one because they know if they went for it, they could just bully that bottom lane.
Yeah, Trowsy going through that ward in the Tribush, giving him away. And again, great position, great warding down there from N-rated. You touched on this pair, obviously. We saw them, I think, at their prime before coming again together here. Was against All Authority. We saw them at the Intel Extreme Masters World Championship. That's when we first saw that ridiculous Corki Leona bottom lane. And it was N-rated and Yellow Star who really came out on top with that bottom lane play. So they're certainly a pair that really know each other, along with Candy Panda and Nif, who are now reunited as well over in SK Gaming. So in the early stages, 7.5 to 7.3 thousand gold as Horse again going very, very low in this one. And Fnatic bottom lane is being a bit of a bully lane now. 45 to 27 CS in favour of Yellow Star.
Yeah, Trowsy again trying to come in towards Yellow Star. He's not worried about that one. Gets the Glitz Lance down and he turns the damage back towards Trowsy. Well prepared for that one. You saw the pings coming down furiously. So they do force him away. And I'll tell you what, Yellow Star and N-rated are just bossing this bot lane.
Yeah, he's playing amazingly well so far, Yellow Star, and N-rated certainly not something that you can underestimate. The annoyance of a Lulu, to be honest with you, in this lane as well. Meanwhile, in the middle, it looks like we've got a little bit of action going on there as well. Orianna just backing away, both players just getting those pots going, but just to throw you into more confusion, Steven, back in the bottom lane, we do actually have them pushed right onto this turret, and this is going to be the first one of the game.
Yeah, just Fnatic really very strong in this bottom lane. You know, Yellow Star, he's been a fantastic AD carrier all his career, really. He's been across many teams, and they're happy to just leave that turret down to minions, and that is going to be the first turret of the game for Fnatic. We also see Edrin in the middle. It's going to be Orianna going down. Peke just caught a glimpse of that one. Finished him off with the Arcane Shift as well. So, very aggressive stuff there. So, Peke winning out the lane against Orianna so far. Who would expect that with Ezreal? Kane, like we said, it's a throwback to Season 1. It's the days we used to have the likes of Big Fat GG, who's just stepped down at CLG. He used to be bossing it with Ashe mid lane. That's where the original spot was for the AD carries.
Yeah, and that's the beauty of League of Legends right now, that with all these item changes, with the fact that the word metagame seemingly means nothing in these days, because it's so different whichever scene you go into, and game to game we see complete different strategies coming out. Let's have a look down and see, yes, in this top lane, obviously, was that assist on Lee Sin, got the Ninja Tabi in there, and Zed actually got a tier 1 boost. Looking like he's going to go Ninja Tabi with that cloth armor as well, and also in towards that Brutalizer first of all. Lee Sin here just taking the lead in terms of the CS there, but Fnatic, now that they've taken down that bottom turret, they're going to send their AD carry and support straight into his top lane to try and lay the law down on towards his top outer turret as well.
Yeah, but they've got problems down in this bottom turret, so as was a little switch to react and switch around. You can see that Horse has immediately put pressure straight towards that turret and took a good third of health off it already before he even be able to react and get down there. How are they going to work out in the 2v1 lane? I do not know. Of course, he does have the added advantage. He's had 7 levels up the top lane against Hitoon. He did, of course, get taken down though, so hitting with that assist. He's having just as many problems in this top lane. You can see half the health already gone off his tower. They're just shredding it down here. Meanwhile, down the bottom, you can see Soaz is going in towards Timek. Timek's surely going to get dropped. Yes, he will. Can they turn it onto a Horse? The Horse, remember, there's no tower. They can just keep diving this one. They're just going to get the pressure on towards Horse. Soaz surely going to clear this one up. Absolute Zero is going to pop off full channel, and Soaz picks up the double kill.
Well, let's be honest, you're never getting away from a Nunu under normal circumstances when you've got no tower there. But when he's got red buff on as well, yeah, you're dead in that situation. And I think Horse knew it pretty much gave up there by the end. But second tower here is going to be falling. That's again N-Rated and Yellow Star doing the business. On the other side, we've got Fnatic doing Dragon currently. I'm not sure that they can finish it off though, and Olaf is going to come in here, and it is going to be Fnatic who pick up Dragon. Nika's actually pretty low. Cyanide as well. There's the ult coming out of Orianna. It's a kill for Olaf. There's Orianna with the second, and now Peke could be in trouble. He will arcane shifting, gets the kill. Axe misses out of Trousey. Can he catch up? There is the reckless swing. One more hit. True shot barrage trying to come out there right at the end, but Trousey mopping up. That will be a 3-for-1. Yes, they lost the Dragon, but I think Absolute Legends will take that one and be happy with it.
Yeah, definitely great turnaround there from Trousey, being very aggressive with Olaf and forcing it down. Peke, of course, squeaked out that kill on towards Nika. Wasn't quite expecting that one. Timek now back in towards the middle, but Yellowstar is just wrecking these turrets right now, shredding another half hit points off the turret in the mid lane. So he's taken 2 down already in 10 minutes, just switching across the lanes and just destroying them. Of course, they realize that everybody had to go back. They're going to try and take advantage. I think they're going to get this turret, Joe.
Yeah, it looks that way, and if we learned one thing yesterday, it's winning fast is a good thing, and Fnatic are going to be wanting to put that into play here as well. Finally, we get Nika and Trousey back in towards this middle lane to force this 3-man offensive from Fnatic away from that middle outer turret, the only outer turret left remaining for Absolute Legends. That's currently 2,000 gold, give or take. 100 or so there behind Fnatic, and that's obviously coming in from those 2 turrets, plus the Dragon that was taken a little bit earlier on. But will Absolute Legends be able to push out for any turret of their own right now? That's the problem which I don't see an immediate answer to.
Well, that really helped out Trousey. Trousey's gone back, got himself a giant spot, so he's going to start getting stronger and stronger. We've seen them stacked out throughout the Korean teams in this tournament. Well, we do see a double BF sword currently built up as well, so we can see 1 picked up by Soaz, 1 picked up by Yellowstar, and actually it's AP Ezreal as well in that mid lane, so it's going to see how much damage he really can do as AP Ezreal. I know it's meant to be legitimate now. Also, Aranea swears by Jungle Ezreal. So you're never really sure when these picks are going to come from him. Rated eating an axe there, but he's going to back away. Let's have a look down towards the bottom. Peke, and he actually out CS'd as well. All lanes pretty much ahead, apart from Hitoon in that top lane on Lee Sin. Brutalizer picked up by him. So as it stands, pretty even stuff. What is going on down the bottom? Oh, and he just took him out before he even managed to react to it quick enough. Absolutely destroyed the support there. Very, very quick. We do all see Soaz coming around the side there. Peke has backed off, trying to bait him out. Is he going to come towards it? No, he's going to get spotted straight away by Trousey. And he's just going to jump and dash away from that one, leaving his shadow behind. Does, of course, mean that the mid lane is going to get opened up again, Joe.
Yeah, that kill there from XPK down at the bottom. He put a ward by the golems, waiting for someone to come in. It was True Shot Barrage and a W, as we are going to see here in the middle. Trousey is going to go in for this one. Can he finish off Yellow Star? Lulu Ultimate actually coming out, but will they continue to push in for a kill? Trousey has actually fallen low, and it looks like Fnatic may be able to turn this one around. They've certainly forced them away, but no kills.
Yeah, 2 ultimates used there. Ragnarok was popped out. You saw the shockwave missing. Yellowstar flashed out of that one. I think he maybe just backed out of it, but of course Wild Growth was saving Yellowstar. Did force the flash, I believe, and it made him go out, but Soaz at the moment stealing away the red buff, so they're quite happy to take advantage of all the jungle. 5-4 in kills. They have that 2k gold lead, 2 towers, of course, being the difference. And the Dragon that they did pick up. Hitoon, he's starting to become a problem, and he's really the saving grace currently for Absolute Legends. We do see Cyanide though mopping up. We're down the bottom here, they're diving in towards Horse. They're going to come across True Shot Barrage on towards Timek. Timek just getting melted by Peke there once again. And that is the power of APS. It's been long forgotten, but it seems to be making a comeback.
Yeah, it was in the jungle the whole time. Those last 2 kills, I mean, to be fair to Timmy, he's had a bit of a bad time with that one. He's got taken down twice in the last couple of moments there. As Hitun again taking so much damage. Chelsea actually is going to try and get in here on towards Peke, but needs to be real careful because Fnatic there with the AD carry, with that AP Ezreal, can put a lot of damage out very, very quickly. And yeah, he's healthy, but he's not super healthy at this point. It's Troutsy. Oh, great block there from the Caitlyn ultimate. That was Horse that actually saved Troutsy. He would have gone down from that one again. Fnatic just proving that they are, well, big bullies, basically. That's what we've seen from them so far.
Yeah, Cyanide snuck in and stole the blue buff as well, so doing a lot of work, Fnatic, all across the map. As I mentioned, they were bullying in that mid. We do see Absolute Legends starting to gather up. They have not got their jungler, though, so their main player at the moment, obviously he's got those 3 kills, which means the pressure on this turret is going to be pretty immense. They should be able to wave clear this fairly quickly, though, with Corki and Orianna, and that's exactly what they do. Hitun also building up that damage. So Fnatic at the moment, definitely being the more aggressive, pushing and starting to try and take advantages across the map. Top lane is going to get wiped out by Soaz. Blue buff going to be given across to Peke because Taina just stole away the enemy blue buff. You can see that he's slowly but surely gaining the power. I'm going to be interested to see what Peke builds in this order.
Yeah, that's going to be a good... Oh, wow. You see the True Shot Barrage coming over and just stripping Absolute Legends of all the health. And any chance that they thought that they had, I think, of taking down the outer turret in the middle lane. Speaking of outer turrets in the middle lane, Absolute Legends' turret there is not very healthy. Below half HP already. You can see there, Cyanide just getting up there and getting that ward in position. So that they've got vision around that blue buff and in the jungle as well for most likely Ezreal to just be catching people out once again. But this turret is taking more and more damage. Caitlyn, they've got Nunu in there as well, so that Blood Boil really doing the work for them on that. Xpeke got double buffs on, so overall Fnatic looking very commanding, and as I say that, they're doing a dragon.
Yeah, so as they're on towards Hitun, he was just hanging around. Hitun uses his ultimate to kick him away. Didn't want a piece of that. Meanwhile, you can see, like you mentioned, Yellowstar is going to take that dragon away with Cyanide. They are just going to do the business. We see Soaz coming back in towards the mid lane. They're starting to just build their advantages. 3k gold advantage now, 3.5k, I guess you could say. Peke, you saw how strong that True Shot Barrage is. That's going to become a bit of an issue if you can start landing that in fights. Of course, the Mystic Shot's going to be doing more damage as well.
Yeah.
Just because he's gone AP, which I wonder just when the last time Absolute Legends maybe played against AP Ezreal in a proper tournament match. I've certainly not seen one in for a long, long time. They are going to get the pressure on towards this mid turret though, and Absolute Legends is going to go for this one. True Shot Barrage is going to couple zip across, go straight into a Timic, just gets popped once again, and that was the True Shot Barrage being very strong. Peke's going to continue to chase this one. Can he get in? Oh, he just got destroyed by Hitun there though, but immediately they turn back on towards Hitun. The damage going to keep coming out. Of course, meanwhile, down the bottom, Yellowstar is not in the fight. He's pushing the bot lane, so they may even try and take advantage and get 2 turrets here.
Yeah, Peke again just showing the power of that ultimate coming out, taking all the health away. And as you said, bottom lane is being pushed. That middle outer turret is a goner. And Yellowstar may even have this one down at the bottom away as well. Down to below 400 HP and just another auto attack. Or you could just leave it to the minions. And that one will be falling down. That is 4 turrets to 0. It's a 5,000 gold lead now, almost exactly. And Fnatic thoroughly in the driving seat. However, it's not quite that clear cut. I mean, if they manage to take this Ezreal out like we saw earlier on, Nika has already shown us a good couple of shockwaves coming out there. So if he can land it, it changes. That ultimate is a game-changing ultimate.
But what he's been doing is putting on the ball on Trouse's head, Ragnarok Ghost, or whatever he does to get involved. He hasn't got Ghost, he's going to flash in there, and just pile in there, and he's going to be the one that's taking all the damage, getting as deep as he can. But of course he still hasn't picked up that Warmog, so whether he's going to go for it, he might even switch to a Sunfire Cape, but I should expect it to be a Warmog, so of course not going to go too much armor because the damage at the moment is coming from Peke. 5-2-0 AP Ezreal. We talked about them not showing their hands, but you know what, they've just pulled out a champion that nobody else has used in this tournament.
Yeah, and that's the thing, you don't know if it's something that they've been secretly working on.
They could also be mind gaming their opposition, because this could all be baiting. AP Ezreal ban come season 3 qualifiers next weekend.
Yeah, which they might not even be planning to play there. So, yeah, that's also the beauty of having an event this close to those qualifiers as well, that you can pull some things out that you don't really plan to pull out there. If it goes well for you, well, you've just thrown a possible ban towards your opponents in that one. So I'll see how they continue to develop this one. We can see double boost of mobility currently over with Fnatic. One with Soaz, one with Cyanide, and they're going to get in towards Nika. There is the shockwaves. He catches two of them, but it's not going to be enough. True Shot Barrage comes across. Horse going to get destroyed as well. Trouty gets slow, but I don't think they can continue to push in for this one. Soaz just getting involved as the minion's going to come through as well, and they may take turret number 5.
They do. I'm going to pile on down there, and that was just beautifully done. It was actually the shockwave used, so the aggression kind of used against Absolute Legend there. They were ready for that fight. I think the shockwave did a lot to just rile them. It's like poking an angry bee's nest, I guess, and they just managed to get Fnatic swarm on them. As it is, though, Soaz just going to head back to the top lane. They have full control, and they're just going to go on down towards the bottom, clear things out. They're trying to track down Soaz here. Not sure he's kind of the person you want to track down. He's got them Bloodthirster. Lots of boots and mobilities as well coming out. And it stands. See what they're going to go back and buy. Another Bloodthirster picked up. The Avarice Blade picked up by Yellow Star. I'm just seeing Guardian Angel. They're going to go for that. Something we haven't seen really much of anymore. And we've never really got to the stage. You know, I was wondering whether Gambit Gaming were going to keep on doing Guardian Angels, but we've not seen them throughout this tournament, Joe.
No, I don't think we've seen one, if I'm not mistaken, up until now. And I'm just looking through Xpeke there. I mean, his burst is so ridiculous if he catches you out. That True Shot Barrage coming over for about 750 damage. Even Arcane Shift does like 475 as well. You can see it coming over.
And he steals the blue.
Wow. Amazing. Brilliant play from Xpeke.
Very, very nice there. It was so well timed as well. It's just from literally downtown, I guess you could say, down the bottom.
When it does that much damage, though, you don't have to have that timing.
Yeah, you're just like, well, it's like a smite just straight across the map. It's just like, I got this, don't worry. And meanwhile, of course, now they're going to give the blue. Are they going to give it to Cyanide? They're Yellow Star. Yes, they have. They've given the blue buff to Yellow Star. I guess they want to keep the timings down and built over Peacemaker. That means they expect to see them shoving straight down this mid lane. Of course, they have taken the inner turret already, so maybe it's going to be the first inhibitor push.
And we see that Xpeke now, Mana Immune plus the Rabadon's Death Cap built up. We've got 2 Bloodthirsters in the team. There's a Brutalizer done there as well on Zed. So Fnatic well and truly in the driving seat here. It's going to take something big, in my opinion, out of Nika to sort this one out. There's got to be a totally clutch Shockwave once he actually finally gets some damage in there, which is now going to happen with that Ninja Large Rod, as we are going to see PK taking a lot of damage. Lulu Ultimate comes in perfectly, and we will see Lee Sin get away, but that was a nice save by N-Rated again.
Yeah, it also showed and really highlighted how squishy Peke can be.
Yeah.
But he did manage to get away from there with the help of N-Rated. N-Rated this time playing Lulu, of course, we're so used to seeing him on Blitzcrank, which is kind of, he always says it, you know, it's a credit to the player, to a support player that actually he draws a ban for the team.
Yeah, he thinks he's brilliant. I mean,
well, he is.
In my opinion, yeah, it is brilliant, because to be taking supports out in a team where you've got the likes of Soaz, who, to be honest, is hard enough to ban out even if you target all 3 at Soaz. That's how big his champion pool is, and well, they're not always ones that you expect either. So they've just got such a nice variety of Fnatic that they're going to be naturally a strong team.
Yeah, just keeping my eye to see whether that True Shot Barrage was going to shoot down the mid, whether he was going to use it as an offensive tool to trigger an attack, but they haven't. Soaz is comfortable enough to go back top, which means they're quite happy to defend this one out. No turrets still picked up by Absolute Legends here. 5, of course, picked up by Fnatic. They've been drawing the pressure out, and again, the Mystic Shots are doing the damage from Peke. They're going to follow this one through. They have got wards. They've been very aggressive. Soaz is making his way down. Of course, the Oracle was picked up by Cyanide. The Dragon is spawned, and they're going to fight for this one. They are not happy to give it. Crescendo comes across, followed by a Shockwave. Is it going to be enough? But a Mystic Shot blasts back across. Cyanide actually got away. Trouty does manage to track him down, but now Soaz is coming in. T-Mex definitely going to be 1 hit down, and Peke takes him, gets a second. Nika gets taken down as well. Actually picked up by N-Rated, and well, they just completely cleared it. They're going straight for Baron.
Yeah, they're going straight up there, and that's what I was talking about with the Shockwaves, how they're needed. It got one person, it took Cyanide, he died in the end. If that would have gone over the rest of the team as well, it could have been a different outcome. But with another perfect true shot barrage coming over there, there's not a lot that Absolute Legends could have done against that one. It's 13-6 in kills. Baron is going to go to Fnatic. It's 5-1 in turrets. This is Fnatic's game to throw, I think we can call it at this point.
Well, it's kind of what we expected. We knew Fnatic definitely going to be one of the favourites coming into this tournament, I guess you could say, as well as the certainly the group stage. And Baron has been picked up. Fortunately for Cyanide, was he back up? Yes, he was. He was in the mid, so they've all got the Baron on, so all 5 members. Cyanide on Nunu, you know, bringing back Nunu jungle as well. Again, we've talked about, you know, the fact that Ezreal's a flashback to Season 1, but as is Nunu. Nunu starts to get glorified a little bit here. The Muramana being picked up, of course, really an ideal item for AP Ezreal. So he's now going to be much stronger, picking up a hell of a lot of kills. And of course, he's got the Sheen as well, so the damage ability to come out at the moment, it's really the Essence Flux. People in the Mystic Shot, it's the Essence Flux I was meant to talking about. Of course, he's now doing 500 damage with a single Essence Flux, and that's on an 8-second cooldown. So
he does more than 500 damage when he arcane shifts next to you.
Yes. Indeed, yes. So
that's wrong.
There's a hell of a lot of damage coming out. True Shot Barrage, of course, doing 400 damage. I know, I tell a lie, that's 1,000 damage, nearly. Wow, so that's going to hurt.
So what we conclude from that is Ezreal can do 1 billion damage at any point to any person.
Yeah, Dragon's going to get picked up. Yellowstar, of course, nearly. Obviously tried it there. We have seen a couple of epic Dragon steals already. But Yellowstar is really the one that started everything off. Obviously, they dominated that bottom lane, went up to the top, completely wiped out that wave. But Nika, like you mentioned, it's kind of the saving grace. He's got a lot of damage. He's able to wave clear very quickly. We still haven't seen anywhere near a push on towards a inhibitor turret yet, and that's going to help them. You know, try and stall it out as much as they can. As Fnatic just seem to be quite happily workman-like approach, I guess. They're just working their way through every objective in the game.
Yeah, no need to even risk anything at this point. They've got such a big advantage, and you don't want to end up throwing games. One thing that, as I said, like right at the start, I think of this one, that winning fast in Intel Extreme Masters is a good thing if it comes down to a tiebreaker later on. So, see, I guess Fnatic don't really have that one totally in mind at this point, just judging by how they're going about this one. But certainly they're going to be starting to make this Baron presence felt. Yeah, when it's win for Timek just completely caught out of position now, but no, Crescendo comes across. Soaz is going to get turned on him. Timek survived that one. Hitun gets onto him. Trousie, he's trying to follow through on this one. Cyanide is going to back away. Yellowstar is in the tri-bush just above, but everybody does back off. Everybody huddles around, but Soaz, well, he's caught out nicely there. That's the sort of picks they've got to do. Where's Peke? Oh, he stood on a ward. Oh, the Q missing. If Hitun would have landed that, I think it would have been a dead Peke. Yeah, I mean, he probably could have arcane shifted his way off of that one, but to be honest, a very sticky champion, and you've got to get the timing right there. Not like, oh, Q's just hit me, I'm going to arcane shift away, oh, his Q is still on. Yeah, he comes with me over the top of the wall. But yeah, Fnatic, you know, taking a few buffs away from that top side of the jungle now. We've just seen him go home and a bit of shopping. We've got a static shift on Caitlyn, plus a Last Whisper and that Bloodthirster from earlier. Lulu's got a Warmogs on. There's an Aegis in there, there's that second Last Whisper, Bloodthirster, Black Cleaver combo coming out of Soaz on Zed. Just overall great items, and, well, a big item lead, I think, is the more important thing about this one for Fnatic. Yeah, and Peke just hit 16, so of course his third level of ult he's gone in there, which means he's doing a bit more damage with it. So True Shot Barrage is on a pretty quick cooldown as well. It's going to be doing a heck of a lot of damage very quickly. We do, of course, see the Zeal picked up. And now the Static Shiv. It's kind of been a new staple place. It's taken over the Phantom Dancer quite heavily. Trousie, wow, look at that. Just one straight combo onto an Olaf. Onto an Olaf, shredded 1,000 hit points. Yeah, that's pretty insane. He could have combined that with his True Shot Barrage and he would have killed him. I mean, there it goes. Horse going very, very low. As I mentioned, it can get close to killing him, and Peke just gets sniped off there. What? Yeah, exactly. That was my words. That's about, I think, what it is, this one. Fnatic here pushing in towards that inhibitor turret. They are going to take it down. Shockwave? Nope, not quite ready for it, although I think his ball was in about the most perfect position it's been all game. sadly for them, they don't really have anything to follow that one up with. Fnatic going to head around, I'm assuming here, towards that middle lane. Pink ward put down to clear out the wards just outside of the base. And Fnatic, sadly for them, don't have that wave of minions quite there with them yet. But they could probably tank it up there as XPK again, just a single Q landed onto Horse, takes about a quarter of his health.
And this honestly shows just how versatile Peke can be, because we just think of all the champions that they were trying to draw away from him in IEM Cologne. He's coming to Season 3 and he's adapted. He's picked up Ezreal mid lane, something we've not seen. I don't remember seeing too much of Ezreal mid lane. I'm trying to think back to OGN whether there's been any Ezreal mid lane there. There probably has. They're pretty creative guys themselves, but I don't remember certainly the Azubu teams using it. The question is it going to be the new thing? Solo queue right now is getting filled with Ezreal's mid lane, saying, don't worry, I got this. I've just seen someone do it on a stream. Please, ladies and gentlemen, don't do that at home. Save yourself all the rage in the queues. As it stands, they are sieging through. Baron buff went down on that last push. And again, it seems like they're just waiting and biding their moment. Look at the Trusha Barrage is back up in 15 seconds. That'll probably be the signal that they're going to go in again.
And Yutun there also taking a quarter of his health. Force taking a big hit as well. And Fnatic now finally forcing their way in on towards his turret. They've got Caitlyn with Blood Boil.
You can't leave a Caitlyn Blood Boil there. Wow! Peke just comes in and shreds it down. Ace in the hole comes through. Yutun actually took the hit for his teammate. Shockwave does go off, but it's only a defensive duty. It doesn't really do the damage. They're just going to pile straight through. It's going to be a Blood Boil. Look, Caitlyn wrecking through the turrets. The two Nexus turrets are going to go down. That is going to be the game. Trousey comes in. Wild Growth popped up onto Osiris. It doesn't matter. They're taking the turrets down. You know, mentioned it. Down the bottom here, Peke also on towards them. He's just going to get them on towards the fountain. Yes, he does. He gets the Q in there. The Nexus is going to drop, and Peke just survives towards the end. Fantastic performance from Fnatic.